right, we made it episode 10, and I'm really starting to feel traction coming along with the podcast. For those of you who knew, welcome to the Value Vault. I cannot emphasize enough how grateful I am for you. For those of you who are returning yet again, that extension of gratitude is also sent out to you as well. Seeing the people sharing the podcast, hearing people speaking about it, getting asked questions about it, it is incredible. Thank you very much for it. I really do appreciate it. Now, it's a funny one, the episode today, because I had such a resistance to recording this. I had such a resistance to actually get in front of the camera, set everything up, and hit record, because I genuinely felt like I had nothing to give. And I was contemplating with the idea of just not recording an episode. Now, I'm on a streak doing 10 episodes in a row. The sequence that I'm currently running at the moment is I record the episode, I post the episode, I give it a day, and then I record the other one. And I've done that for these 10 episodes. So I'm running with a consistency streak. Now, tonight I was so close of just not recording the podcast because energetically I didn't feel right with it. I didn't really feel motivated. I didn't really have any desire to do it. I didn't really feel inspired. I felt like I didn't really have anything to give. And I was so close of just not doing it. Now, Chris Wills, before I decided to press record, I'd seen a post on his Instagram, and he said the magic that you are looking for is in the work that you are not doing, or the work that you are avoiding doing. And it was ironic because in that moment when I was thinking, there's nothing for me to actually speak about, I don't feel like there's anything that I can actually give in terms of value. When it's a lie, there's an abundance, there's the mind, thoughts, feelings, behavior, personal development, growth, elevation, inspiration, whatever it is, there is something there for me to give, but I just energetically didn't feel like there was. And I was so close to just not doing it and ruining the consistency streak, right? And then it just dawned on me, okay, great. Yep, that's the topic of the podcast. That's what I am going to actually speak about on the episode. Because it's a funny thing. I think, especially when we're starting out something new, you know, whether that be going to the gym, starting a diet, whether that's starting the business, whether in my case, it's doing the podcast and my mindset stuff. I think whenever we're starting out anything, yes, we can have doubts there and fears and all those things, but the energy tends to be pretty high. You know, we're riding on momentum, we're riding on excitement and motivation. Now, this is why I feel so many people don't actually become who it is that they set out to become and achieve the results in the life that they set out to achieve and live, because we have this false illusion that the energy is always going to be high. The excitement's always going to be there. The drive is always going to be there. The desire to do the thing is always going to be there. And I think from what I'm experiencing so far, and certainly from the studying that I do from so many successful people, it's that is an illusion. You know, if you listen to anybody who has anything and who has become anything, you know, they will all say unanimously that riding the wave of motivation and relying on motivation to get you to where you want to be and who you want to become, that's going to be a short-lived, stressful, burnt out journey, because it isn't always going to be there. You know, you've got to be willing to do the thing without always feeling like you are wanting to do the thing or feeling like you are ready to do the thing, because we aren't always going to feel ready. We're not always going to feel like we want to do the thing. But like Chris Will said, the magic that you are after is in the work that you are not doing, or the work that you are avoiding doing. So what areas of your life are you lacking turning up, that you are lacking action? What areas of your life you are slacking? Where aren't you turning up? And it is about having that humiliation and self-awareness. So just look at it objectively, you know, not get emotionally involved in it, you know, not beating yourself up. You know, it is what it is. You're a human being. It's all about the journey of growth. And if you listen to the last episode when I was talking briefly on the self-image and psycho-cybernetics, you know, a plane will feel its way to its destination. A rocket will feel its way to a moon. A missile will feel its way to its target. Because when we've given ourselves an objective, and we're off course, the negative feedback that a plane gets whenever it senses that it's actually off track, or that a missile senses when it's actually off track, that negative feedback will be sent to the cybernetic mechanism, whereby it will automatically readjust itself to bring itself back on course. Whenever you are deviating, whenever you are having those moments where it's your lows and you're not really feeling inspired or motivated and things aren't really happening and you're not really turning up to your fullest degree, in those moments, those are just deviations. They aren't designed to just continue to happen. They are there for you to look at, become aware of, learn the lesson as to why that happened, go out and apply the lesson, get a new experience, a new result. And guess what? You have just experienced and created wisdom, because now you know if you do that thing, that then happens as a result. If that makes sense. So what areas of your life are you not taking action in? What areas in your life are you avoiding taking action in? Is it having that conversation in the relationship? Is it choosing to buy that gym membership? Is it choosing to have that conversation with your boss, or ask for that promotion, or hand in that CV? Is it investing that money into that business? You know, what is that thing that you are avoiding doing? Because when we understand that the magic that you are seeking is in the thing that you are avoiding doing, because all we're ever truly after as human beings is an emotion. It's never really the car. It's never really the girl. It's never really the job. It's never really the money. Those things are nice, and those certainly are motivating factors, but truly underlying beneath all of those materialistic objective things is an emotion. That's truly what it is that we're after. But understanding that the emotion that we seek and that we crave is often in the thing that we are avoiding doing. So to the degree in which you avoid doing the thing is to the degree in which you will likely inflict suffering into yourself. Because you will know how you can be doing better in your life. I know how I can be doing better in my life. And every time I don't do the thing, I then feel shit because I know that I didn't do the thing. And I know that by doing the thing, that's going to get me a certain result. Even if I do the thing, I get the result, I experience the feeling, there's still times where I won't do the thing. Even though I know that when I do it, it gets me the result, it gets me the feeling. And you might relate to that as well. You know that when you go to bed on time, or when you don't scroll on social media, or when you don't just obsess over porn, and when you don't overindulge in food, and when you don't hit snooze, and when you don't hit if you don't miss out on the gym, you know that if you do those things, you feel good. And you know that when you don't do those things, you don't feel good. But yet there's still times where you'll not do it. And I think the key factor within it, it's just about doing the thing regardless of how we feel about doing the thing. I think that's ultimately what it is. And that's what discipline is. Ultimately, underlying, that is literally what discipline is. It's the ability of giving yourself an instruction and carrying out the instruction regardless of how you feel in the moment. You just do it. So for me with the podcast, I've got a goal. I've got a goal to be speaking on stages around the world and having podcasts which is listened to by millions, and having courses and ultimately transforming the lives of millions around the world. That's the goal that I've got. And undoubtedly, I'm going to meet it. That's the goal. That's the objective. Now, I've got to take the daily actions necessary for me to make progress towards the goal, but I'm not always going to feel like I want to do the action. I'm not always going to feel like now is the right time, or that this is convenient, or that I'm motivated. I'm not always going to feel it. I didn't feel it before hitting record on this podcast. I didn't feel it. I was going to stop it. But guess what? Now that I've pressed record, now that I'm actually doing it, my energy is high because I'm doing the thing. Because the magic that we are wanting to feel is in the thing that we are avoiding doing. I was avoiding taking this action. I was avoiding doing this thing. And now that I've done this thing and are in the process of still doing this thing, I now feel the magic. That's the process. That's the reality. So the thing that you are avoiding doing, that is where the magic is. So what are you avoiding doing? What are you avoiding doing? What is that thing? What thing aren't you really being consistent in? And create some awareness. Why aren't I being consistent in this thing? Do you have the clarity of the goal that you actually want to achieve? Do you actually have a reason why you want to do this thing? Because if we're truly relying on motivation and feeling good to do the thing, then we're never going to actually get the result because we're not going to stick it out long enough. Because we're not always going to feel ready to do the thing. We're not always going to feel inspired and uplifted and motivated and have this incredibly powerful burning desire to do the thing. There's going to be times where we're thinking the last thing that I actually want to do right now is that thing. And I think we can often get ourselves in the illusion that if we aren't always feeling motivated and inspired to do the thing, then that's not what we should be doing. We're doing the wrong thing. It's the wrong goal. It's the wrong objective. And it's just so far from the truth. The amount of times that I've fallen into that mentality, and there's still times where I do it now. And it's just so far from the truth. It's so far from the truth. So when we get clarity as to the result that we actually want to achieve as a result of doing the thing, and we get anchored into a reason why we want that result, what's that going to do to me? What's the consequence of me not having that result? As soon as we anchor into it, then it's in those moments where the back's up against the wall. We've got an incredible amount of resistance to doing the thing. It's in that moment we're able to have a reference point and going, right, okay, yeah, I don't really want to do this. I'd much rather just sit down, put Netflix on and just chill out and just, mong and don't do anything. But ultimately, that's not going to get me to where I want to go to where I want to be. And the consequence of me not being there is this. And okay, right, okay, let's just do it. And then what you'll find in that moment when you do it, whether that is just getting up as soon as the alarm goes off, whether that is jumping into the cold shower or doing the breath work or having the conversation or speaking to that boy or that girl or handing in the CV or going to the gym, like whatever the thing is, as soon as you start doing it, and you're now in the process of doing it, your energy is going to become uplifted. You are now going to feel more motivated. You're going to feel good. And then it's going to be like, right, okay, yes, momentum. But discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, because you aren't always going to feel motivated and ready to do the thing. You aren't. That's just the reality. So all of these people who you see online who always show the highlight reel, they always show the up times, the high times, the excitement, the joy, the love, and all of that beauty. Understand they have days where it is like going through their shit in the trenches, self-doubt, limiting beliefs, stress, pressure, overwhelm. These things, right? They might only experience them for short, very, very short spaces and periods of time. And the people who really are self-aware and the people who really do have a powerful level of understanding, the time in which they experience those things is very, very small, very, very small, and very, very few and far between. They've got a lot more emotional control over themselves, but they still experience them. Now, you might just experience it for an elongated period of time. That might be 30 minutes. It might be an hour. It might be 3 hours. It might be six. It might be half a day. It might be a full day. It might be 3 days. It might be a week. It might be a month. Regardless of what is, you might find that you're just experiencing it for an elongated period of time. And the more awareness that you start to develop about yourself, about your mind, about the impact of your emotions, about this type of stuff, then what you'll find is when you learn and understand those things, then you then take action on that newfound awareness and understanding, then the period of time in which you are emotionally in the shit, it's going to get less and less and less and less and less. But make no mistake about it, you will still feel the emotions at times, but you'll just be in those moments for a shorter space and period of time. But understanding that regardless of how you feel, you've still got to do the thing, or else you're never going to get the thing. And the magic that you are after is in the thing that you are avoiding doing, for whatever reason, for the thing that you are avoiding doing. So just turn up, commit, do the thing regardless of how you feel, push through that temporary bit of resistance, get the momentum built up through taking the action. And what you will find is your feeling will start to compound up. The momentum in terms of your energy will start to build up the more you just start doing the thing. Because right now, that's a living proof of it. I don't even need to have you tell me that what I've just said is true, because I am now feeling the thing. Whereas before I press live and record, I didn't feel a thing. I felt the polarity of the thing, and I was contemplating lying down on the beanbag, reading a book. That's what I was contemplating doing. Now that I'm doing this, I feel I could speak for another 45 minutes. So just do the thing. And the magic that you are avoiding, the magic that you are wanting to experience and have, is in the thing that you are avoiding doing. So just do the thing. I remember, as always, signing off. The mind of yours, that beautiful mind of yours, the mind is a creator. You are the observer. And your life can change in an instant the moment that you decide to change. Peace out.